That
Yeah,
don't mean the guy behind me isn't filming it that I don't see. Because 9
exactly.
times out of 10, there probably is a camera on you nowadays. I mean,
Now,
back in
now,
'85, there probably wasn't, but now there probably is. That's
yeah,
weird. Back in '85, they wouldn't have broke character. Today they
and
would, but today there'd be a camera on you. In '95, there wouldn't have been.
I know I'm jumping everywhere, but the you brought that up where New Jack, perfect perfect example of New Jack. Um, I met New Jack through Jose Perez and Claudia, because when the Kulash trial was going on, Jose testified, and that's how he met New Jack through that, and Devon and everything.
Yeah, I talked to Jose about that. I interviewed him too.
Was that
I said I talked to him about that. I interviewed Jose too. Half an
when
interview. I got to finish him too.
uh, when Jose introduced me to New Jack? It was a pay-per-view the day before Easter, I think it was, or the day after Easter, 2000. And we went down for this show, the pay-per-view and stuff, and introduced me to New Jack, and New Jack's cool. And then we go up to the room and we're sitting there talking to him. And I swear to God, it's like talking to someone that you've known for years. You
Yeah.
know, very, very professional, perfect gentleman. So when Primal stopped, there's a lot to talk about Primal, but when Primal used New Jack one night, I'm not sure if it was Webster, Mass, but before the show, me and Kevin Charisma, who's Jose's brother-in-law, and Jack was like, I'm hungry. Do you know any places? Well, we found a nice Italian restaurant across the street. And I say nice, crystal glasses, nice plates, fancy. I'm like, but Jack's just pretty, appropriate for it, but we're not. But we go in and everything. We're just sitting there talking, eating some food. And Jack is just telling stories, talking like a normal human being. And this guy comes over, and I'm sorry, the waitress comes over, and he says, "Excuse me, are you New Jack?" And New Jack is kind of, I think Jose's better at explaining this. New Jack is kind of funny, and he goes, "Maybe, why is she asking? Is there a cop looking for him?" And he's like, "Maybe." And she says, "Well, there's a gentleman in the other room who's here eating with his son, and they're going to a wrestling show tonight." And his son said, "Dad, that's New Jack." And the father's like, "No, that's not New Jack. He might look like New Jack, but that's not New Jack." So I told him I'd come over and ask. And once New Jack found out that there was a young fan with the Gangsters t-shirt from ECW, and the kid had to be about 10 years old, Jack got up, went over to him, took pictures, gave autographs, joked around with him and everything. And that's not a side of New Jack that anybody sees.
Right.
When they show the Dark Side of Wrestling, and he's talking about cocaine and this, that, the other drugs, that's New Jack. That's not Jerome. That's
Right.
you got Stubby C. Stein and you got Donald DeLuca. Two different
In a
people.
way, I don't think New Jack likes people to see that side of him a lot of times. Don't like the fans to see that side. He wants you to see it and me to see it and Jose to see it, but he don't want the public to necessarily see that too much.
When New Jack came down for a show, he stayed at Jose's house. He made oxtail, and I got invited to the
Pretty
house.
Boy was telling me about this.
Oh my God, this man can cook.
He said, "You want me to cook? You don't think I can cook? I'll cook you. I'll cook for you."
Yep. Pretty Boy, his wife Sandy, I think Kevin Charisma, his wife. And I remember New Jack was playing video games with Jose's son Ricky, and Ricky had to be about 10 years old at this time. And they were playing a Madden NFL game, and Ricky beats New Jack. And Ricky's like, busting his chops, like, "Yo, I just kicked your ass." And New Jack just looks at him and goes, "Go away." But
who was it? I think it was it Pretty Boy? Or maybe it was Jose. It was one of them said when I asked them what their memories of New Jack was, they were like, to be honest, it was how good he was with my kids. And that's what I remember most about him.
when you would see New Jack with Jose's kids and stuff, he was like a little kid. When he's playing video games with Ricky, a 10-year-old kid, and Jack's like, "Oh, you're gonna get it now," and he's like, it was like watching a little kid have fun, you know. We did a show. This was definitely Webster, Mass, and I drove Jack. Jack there, and I'm thinking I know what Jack likes. Jack likes funk music. He likes George. Oh
Clinton?
Jesus, yes, Booty Collins, George Clinton. So I had a box of DVDs with me, and I try to get stuff that I thought he'd rap, like stuff that I
Gray,
think he would.
Snoop, Tupac, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And I said, "Hey Jack," I said, "I got some DVDs in the box. Help yourself, whatever." He goes, he's going through the DVDs. He goes, "Oh, it's pretty good. George Clinton, oh, it's good. Yeah, I've heard this a million times." But you got anything else? I'm like, I got some of the glove compartment. And he goes, "Marvin fucking Gaye." Yes.
Yeah.
So we listened to the best of Marvin Gaye, and he's like singing along and everything, and I'm laughing my ass off. Well, later that night, he was hungry. He wanted chicken wings. And there was only one place in Providence, things like Wings to Go or Wings and Company. They're open till like 2:00 in the morning. And this is like a college town, college area. So we go to this place, and he orders his wings and everything like that. And Jose and Claudia join us. And we're sitting there, and it was wintertime. And Jack's got a beanie hat on, right? So it's covering his head. And he's all dressed in a coat and everything. He's cold. And we're just sitting there talking. And I noticed it first, and then Jack caught on. There's a kid like grilling him. There's a kid with his friends, about a table of 8, college kids, drunk, and this kid is staring at New Jack like he won't take his eyes off him. So Jack stares back at him, and Jack goes, "What's up?" And the kid goes, "Sorry, you just look like New Jack." And he goes, "Who?" "Well, New Jack." Goes, "Who's that?" He's a professional wrestler. And Jack rips his hat off. He goes, "Do I look like New Jack, a professional wrestler?" Because when he rips his hat off, you see his head, it's New Jack. And the kid was like, and Jack's laughing, but Jack tries to not, you're going back to what you're saying. Jack likes to fuck with people. Excuse my language, but he likes to mess with people. And that night I was driving back to Jose's house, and on if you notice, Don Vega just cut a promo on Savio Vega, and where he taped that promo, we were going on this. It's a hill that looks over the city of Providence. So at night it's lit up really, really nice and everything. And as we're driving, I'm going on this hill where Vega did his promo, and Jack goes, "Wow, that looks beautiful." And then he just turns to me and he goes, "If you ever tell somebody I said something was beautiful, I'll kill you." So it's like, I'm not gonna tell nobody, Jack. But Jack was a good guy. And
Don't let him hear this.
Yeah. And exactly. I'm a nobody. I never made it past, I never wrestled for any big companies. And Jack really, he treated us all like we were one of his boys, and especially Jose and Claudia. They were really close with Jack. Before Jack passed, he actually came up here and went out with Jose and Claudia. And he was doing good with his life, his health and everything. And there are things that Jack would talk about with Jose and Claudia that he would never talk about with anybody. When me and Jose, when we were all down in Pennsylvania for that, it was the pay-per-view where Tommy beat Taz for the belt, and then Justin Credible came out and beat Tommy Dreamer for the heavyweight championship belt. But I know it was 2000. That night, New Jack wrestled, I think, DeVito, Angel, and somebody else. And he got clocked with a radio and knocked him silly. So they do the match, they finish up the match, and we go to the hotel, and you know Atlas Security. That's the security that ECW used. They got the turtlenecks. So we go to the hotel room with New Jack, and he actually asked Atlas Security to leave the room, and he just sat down and broke down with me and Jose. He's like, I don't know how much more I can take because I'm going. He was already blind in one eye from the Vic Grimes. Yeah, I was there that night in Connecticut. A friend of mine, his sister was actually engaged to Spike Dudley, and Spike had gotten his tickets, and our seats were in the bleachers right by the scaffold. And Jack hit his, when they went down, you saw Jack's head, and Jack tells it in interviews, he had brain matter coming out. It was bad. They thought he was gone. But luckily, he got out of it okay. But I lost my place. I'm sorry. I know we're talking about New Jack.
Were you there at that point after you got landed on? Were you with New Jack?
I was with it was me. Spike Dudley had broke his leg, so he was out, but he sat with me. It was me, my friend Matt, which is Spike Dudley's sister's brother, Spike, and his fiance at the time. And we just sat there, and when they cleared everybody out of that area and they went to the next match, we knew something was wrong. We didn't know exactly what was going on with New Jack, but Spike was getting updates. But it was scary. It was really, really scary.